program for graduate studies at Charles Darwin University. Hello, I'm Tara Brabazon, and welcome to this Touchstone's progression session on artificial intelligence and research integrity. This Touchstone session has been triggered by the release on February 2, 2024 of the new guidance note on academic and research integrity from TEQSA, the Tertiary Education Quality and Standards Agency. Now, I know we can't enter social media without someone trying to sell us the benefits of AI for writing, visual production or audio production, but there are specific challenges for AI in the higher degree space. Now, I'm not a prophet of doom here. I've seen generations of scholars proclaim the end of higher education through the internet, the World Wide Web, the read-write web, and even Wikipedia. Technological determinism creates truncated thinking. It creates panic and a knee-jerk response to pretty straightforward and already existing problems. But let's explore what TEQSA is recommending for us as supervisors and our responsibilities as supervisors when considering AI and academic and research integrity in higher degree andragogy. The Texer Guidance is, as with all their guidance, principles-based. It maintains their threshold standards in the Higher Education Standards Framework. Today, I'm particularly talking about Standard 5.2 of the threshold standards, that is, uphold and promote academic and research integrity through the sector, and it ensures that higher education providers have policies and procedures in place to not only prevent but also respond to academic and research misconduct. We all commit to research integrity to ensure that our research is conducted ethically and responsibly, and that we create a culture of ethical and responsible research. The responsibilities of CDU include ensuring that our policies and procedures are current and they're publicly available, and also that they are compliant with the Australian Code for the Responsible Conduct of Research. We have mechanisms to both receive and address complaints, and that breaches are investigated with procedural fairness. Our requirements with regard to research integrity AI and the higher degree program include all students and supervisors receiving mandatory training in research integrity. Now, at CDU, we have our Lighthouse program for our new supervisors and sessions such as the one you're listening to today for our experienced supervisors to stay current with the guidelines and the regulations. But all our students must do mandatory research integrity sessions before they can progress to the confirmation of candidature. As an institution, we must block student access to contract cheating websites and ensure an open discussion of academic and research integrity between supervisors and students. So we scaffold that discussion through the supervisory charter document that all supervisors and all students must sign. The important cultural change that is emerging is the importance of diversifying assessment platforms. That is, if you will, enabling multimodal assessment. Now, in the medium term, this will mean that all Australian Masters and PhD students will have to have an oral examination. Now, right now, about 1/3 of higher degree providers in Australia currently have some form of oral exam. But can I say the form of that oral exam differs pretty radically. The oral examination is the research integrity check. But at CDU, we don't have oral exams at the moment, but we are scaffolding to this change. And we're scaffolding to this change via our milestones. Students must present their research to external assessors, and they must take and answer questions. Also, all our milestone documents are passed through Authenticate, and the report is available for assessors. So this report is diagnostic, but it's also andragogical. We've made sure that all higher degree students and supervisors have access to Authenticate. It can be used by you and your students at any time, and I recommend that you use it often. And of course, I as Dean assess Authenticate reports before any thesis moves to examination. Authenticate is creating multiple updates almost weekly to manage AI-enabled writing and its detection. But I wanted to finish off this touchstone with some strategies for you as a supervisor to monitor AI in our higher degree program and particularly with your students. So let's do this. 1, take milestones seriously. TEQSA recommends multimodal assessment. Therefore, the capacity to read a document at a milestone that's been verified by Authenticate and then have oral questioning is incredibly important. So milestones matter for a rapid completion through backward mapping, but they are now increasingly crucial for managing research integrity and the use of AI. 2, ensure that you talk about the importance of research integrity with your students. Now, CTU has policies to manage research integrity breaches through AI. Therefore, it is important to talk with your students throughout the program about research integrity and, of course, the consequences professionally of intellectual shortcuts. 3, verify the scaffolding documents through the higher degree. Now, I'm talking about here lab books. I'm talking about notes. It is important that supervisors check at a granular level that their students are producing their own work. And yes, this includes in our weekly meetings asking direct questions about readings and verifying interpretations. Also, of course, once more, we see the importance of these regular, hopefully weekly meetings. And during those meetings, if some sort of odd intervention has emerged through the writing process, supervisors can question it in real time. So AI cannot generate writing and research from material that does not exist online. So therefore, we need to recognise that experiments, fieldwork and archival research that are often offline are verified and supported. 4, recognise our students' writing styles. Now, I know we read thousands of words from our students every week, but we need to not only verify content now, but form. We must learn about our students' writing style, as it is also a proxy for their research integrity and their academic literacies. 5, watch for the development of AI watermarking. OpenAI is currently working on whether or not watermarking of AI writing is possible. Now, while other AI providers may not do so, AI provision is currently moving through a pretty serious period of review for governance and regulation. And of course, also, this regulation is occurring on the basis of theft of intellectual property. But Turnitin, Authenticate and Roberta-based open AI detectors are moving into this space. And Roberta-based open AI detector is really interesting because it's been created by the same company that created ChatGPT. So it detects the AI writing created by its own tools. Now, obviously, there are always ways to fool these detection services, but as you can see, these diagnostic tools are emerging in this space. 6, note the emergence of authorship detection tools. These are incredibly important in the higher degree space. I'm really interested in this. So, authorship detection tools analyse the writing of a writer against other work written by the same person. Yeah. So therefore we can place discussion papers, articles, milestones, and the thesis itself that have emerged from this student and assess the individual student's work by comparison. 7, start to prepare your students for an oral examination. Look, we're probably 2 years away from implementing oral examinations for a master's and a PhD. Therefore, it is important that our students and our supervisors understand what an oral examination is. Therefore, develop and recognise the importance of communication skills in the higher degree program and enable these skills through milestones. Can I say I will also be creating some further touchstones on the oral examination for supervisors and examiners. 8. Have a clear conversation with your student. So yes, all the literature recommends an overt discussion about this. Talk about AI with your student and talk about it within the frame of research integrity. Research and authorship are key to the Australian Code for the Responsible Conduct of Research. We must guarantee that the name on the article, the book or the thesis, that name, that person wrote the work. If they did not write the work, that is a breach of the Australian Research Code and the student will be investigated. 9. Value the student voice. Part of great supervision is recognising the value of the student. Our students are special, they're extraordinary, and great supervision develops their difference and values their difference. It is important that we remember to provide positive feedback for their hard work and their development, and we allow them to grow as writers and researchers through our supervision. Now, when our students are frightened or worried, they will look for shortcuts. If we can support them as writers and communicators, and we talk about the process of development in a positive way, then that is a longer-term, deeper strategy to reduce the use of shortcuts. And yes, 10, check the student references. The easiest AI detector remains a supervisor's wetware, our brain, rather than plagiarism software. The easiest diagnostic to see the use of AI is, of course, phantom references. AI text generators invent references and quotations. Therefore, the first and best strategy to manage these issues is read the student work from the back. Read and verify the references and the quotations and the citations. The moment we see what's called ghost citations, it's time to pop that submission into Authenticate. So use this discovery of phantom citations to initiate a conversation about academic integrity and research integrity, but also information literacy, reading and writing. Now, much of this discussion, I know, in this touchstone has been pretty depressing. But like every threat to academic and research integrity in the past, it can commence a powerful and reflexive discussion between students and supervisors. We are indeed in interesting times, colleagues, and these touchstones will continue to share the policies and the options available for you as supervisors as they emerge. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to Touchstones, our professional development program for graduate studies at Charles Darwin University.